What's going on, everybody? Nick Gaschler back again for another video, and today we're going to be taking a look at Drake London, our second wide receiver that we're going to be covering, Treylon Burks being the first, and two kind of similar receivers, if you really want to think about it. Drake London, he's not exactly what Treylon Burks is, obviously. If you know anything about him, you'd know that, but he's a big-bodied, going to be good, not only as a contested catch receiver, and I want to put that in bold writing. Not only going to be good as a contested catch receiver, he's got more to his toolbox and his skill than just being a contested catch receiver down the field, and I think that's what makes him valuable. He's my wide receiver 2, potentially has room to jump up to that wide receiver 1. He's not that far off from Garrett Wilson, who is my wide receiver 1, so I just want to come in here. I think I got about 8 plays that we're going to be breaking down and analyzing on Drake London. So this first one, he's coming in motion. One of the things I like about Drake London is his route running. So we're going to see Drake London come into motion, and he's going to run outside towards the numbers. And once he gets to the numbers and he has sold this corner on flipping his hips outside and pursuing this way, he's going to stop and move in. And as a big guy, it can be hard to stop and move in on a dime like that, but Drake London does a pretty good job of doing that smoothly and being able to force the cornerback to flip his hips, and that creates a small amount of separation for London to get, right? We're going to see it later on in the route when he's reaching up for the catch right there. That's just enough separation that he generated, and he's not an elite separator. That's just how it is. Because he's a bigger dude and his speed isn't as great as in the open field, he's not going to be as natural as a separator, but he's able to use these little nuances in his route running and whatnot, in his release and whatnot, to be able to create a little bit of separation to get open. And obviously, the man is 6'5". He's just going to be able to jump up and make a big catch here, right over this cornerback and in the middle of the safety. So that's a really good job from Drake London. Again, I want to highlight the piece I want to highlight in this particular play is the ability to run outside and then move inside. It's just in a simple go route that he did a really good job of being able to do that. Right, and another decent route from Drake London, he's just going to be running a simple slant here. He's able to sell upfield, doesn't really sell the corner on much, but breaks inside, kind of runs into the corner, which kind of generates a little bit of separation, if we're being honest. On a short route like that, that's pretty good to do. It's a little bit sloppy. I'd like a little bit sharper of a break because he's a bigger dude. I don't think he was really anticipating the corner to be that lazy as of a coverage guy. Like, if he was just running and go, this corner would be done. He'd be toast, because this corner is not ready to flip his hips and have Drake London move inside. The big thing that's a problem here, and you see it show up a couple times on tape, is his focus drops. And that's not a good thing to have going for you, obviously. And I worry on the next level how it's going to affect him, right? We see receivers with focus drops all the time succeed. We see receivers with focus drops sometimes fail. Personally, I think Drake London is going to be the type of guy to succeed, hopefully, because they're few and far between in his tape, and he's also able to make some pretty good catches. But these plague him throughout his tape, and the more you watch, the more you kind of realize that. And it's not a good thing not a good thing to watch and see, but it deserves a play just to be able to analyze it, break it down, and let me know my thoughts on his focus drop issue. And I don't know if this play is just a improvisation or if it's just a really good route, but regardless, Drake London achieves the primary purpose as a receiver. He's able to get open and turn upfield, right? He's playing press man here. He does a solid job releasing. It's not amazing. Again, this number 0 corner isn't really playing too hard on him. Gets a little physical, but Drake London is able to use his body and just pure bigness as a receiver to be able to shed his hand off right there. You see 0's hands on him, and he's going to turn inside to ditch that. And when he notices his quarterback kind of scrambling out, he's going to run back outside, whether that's just a normal whip route, which is a whip route as you come in and then come back out, or that's an improvisation in the route. He still did a very good job of being able to get open, and then the first thing he does when he secures the catch and has the ball in his hand is he's going to turn upfield, and I like to see that, right? He's turning upfield, trying to get yards after catch. You see a lot more examples of Drake London being able to get really quality yards after catch. This is just one example that shows that that's always on his mind when he has the football, and he's going to try and get upfield to maximize the gain, and that gets him the first down right there. Again, another really good showing of Drake London's ability to route run and be sudden with his routes. He's going to be at the top of your screen here. This is going to sell the go, right? Once he sees this corner, flip his hips and start to turn upfield to run with him, he's just going to cut back and run a comeback route. Obviously, it's not as quick of a break as you'd like. He's a bigger dude. That's probably the best you're going to get, and it's not a bad break. He does it pretty quick. As opposed to like a Jameson Williams who is able to run a route and then stop on a dime, Drake London is going to take a couple steps to do that. And luckily, he does a very good job of noticing when this corner gets his eyes off Drake London and starts to move upfield. That's the point in which Drake London decides, I'm gonna break and I'm gonna stick it. Then, once he secures the catch right here, instead of just kind of going down or falling into the corner, he's going to run this way to try and get that first down. That's a really good job, again, of being able to have the ball in your hands and then turn upfield for more yardage. I like that play, and he's able to almost break a tackle there and keep getting out in the open. Just a really good job from Drake London of being able to sense that where he is on the field, he probably caught it if at the first down line marker, if not a little bit before, and he's going to have to turn upfield and create that first down for the offense. But first and foremost, I really like the route running there. That shows he has a little bit of nuance and he can sell those fakes that good route runners can sell. And I mentioned it a little bit earlier in the first play, but Drake London is going to be your contested catch guy, and while he is not just a contested catch guy, he's very good at contested catches, and this is a great example of it. He's going to be at the top of your screen just running a simple go route, gets out, doesn't create much separation. We talked about that with Treylon Burks. If you can't create separation, you better be pretty physical at the point of attack, or else you're not going to be very successful. Luckily for Drake London, he's very physical at the point of attack. He's going to turn his body and be able to make a beautiful catch down the sideline. I mean, this is just awesome. Be able to track the ball and then turn. What would that be? Almost all the way clockwise. So his right shoulder is turning out like this to be able to make that catch and come down to the big one. We'll watch it from the cartel view real quick. Ready, we're watching him follow the ball. His right shoulder is right here, and he's going to be able to flip out, kind of get away from the corner a little bit, and jump to make this big catch. He plays basketball as well, I believe. There's pictures of him in a basketball uniform for USC, so I believe that. So he knows how to be a big body control, go get those boards type of player, and he does that a lot downfield, and this is just an amazing example. I think one of the best he has on tape of being able to create that. Again, he's pretty draped up by that receiver, or that corner, but as long as he's able to be physical and get up over that corner, I'm not too worried about the lack of separation that he creates. And we talked about yak a little bit, yards after catch, with Drake London, but this is one of those plays that I really love that showcases his yak ability, and he's going to be right here as the H-back. He's just going to kind of run a simple flat, kind of just drag route outside. He's going to get the ball, break one tackle, get upfield, and then accelerate and be able to break another tackle before he goes down. Being able to utilize, he turns potentially a 5-yard loss here into a first down, which I think is really impressive. And it's just a simple screen, but it shows you how not only physically he is, but how once he gets that football, like we talked about, he turns upfield and is preparing to maximize the amount of yards he can get and try and score there. I love that trait in him. I think while he isn't an elite yak guy, he's not going to be like a CeeDee Lamb from a couple years ago, or a Jameson Williams who's just purely electric with the ball in his hands. He's going to be a very solid guy that can break tackles, and it uses speed and athleticism. He's not slow. He's not the fastest, but he's not slow, and he's able to use that athleticism to get out in front of people and make guys miss and make guys have to fight for that tackle, and that's a good example of him being able to do that. And I talked a little bit before about Drake London being able to make people miss. This is a good example of him being able to do that. Let's check him out at the top of the screen here. He runs a really good out route here. I like right when we get to the stem right there, he's going to fake his head inside while he moves outside, right? And you saw it on that clip right there. He moves really quick and boom, right outside. And I'd like him to keep his depth down a little bit. We see when he runs it, he kind of rounds it like that. We're going to see him go like that. I'd like him to go like that ideally, but it's pretty sudden and it's pretty explosive. I like that about Drake London. What I like even more is when he has the ball in his hands on the sideline. It may be easy just to go out of bounds right here and not take the hit, but Drake London's going to turn upfield, make this guy miss, make that guy miss, and get upfield for a first down. That's the yak potential that I want out of my receivers, and that's what Drake London has to offer, as I've said multiple times in this film session already. He's just that type of dude, and this is a good play that showcases that. And Drake London this year had a very productive year and was able to rise up in the receiving rankings before he broke his ankle and went out for the season. And on top of the production that he had, we have to remember that USC's offense was not very good this year. Kedon Slovis was not a very good quarterback, and their line was not very good for him. Evident in this play right here, where Drake London is just running a go route. He's wide open right here. That's a touchdown in any NFL offense. If he's able to do that against a corner, that is a touchdown. The pocket is not clean, though. The quarterback's not looking in the right place. Really, any of these three guys are open. It's a perfect play for anything. I mean, these guys could either all get first downs, or on the two outside guys, in my opinion's case, could definitely get a touchdown. But he doesn't get the ball because the offensive line is just not able to hold up. If he goes to an NFL offense where the weapons around him are better, or not so much the weapons, but the offensive line and the quarterback around him are better, think about what Drake London can do with that type of play. We talk about route running. This is just a go route, and he does a very good job of stuttering and then letting the cornerback bite on that and then being able to accelerate with what speed he has, and he's wide open in the end zone there. So Drake London is kind of crazy, right? Because in the age of in the NFL, when contested catch receivers are fading from the main scope. I mean, 10 years ago you had Megatron, and now you have Mike Evans. And in 10 years, who will you have? Drake London is who you'll have. Drake London is crazy. I think a lot of the film that I showed today really proved that. He's more than just a contested catch receiver, and I want to stress that point. I cannot stress it enough. A lot of people, when I bring up Drake London, say, oh, he's just a contested catch receiver. He is more than a contested catch receiver. He has good athleticism. He is a good yak guy. He is a good route runner. He's good with the release. He can create separation. I know it's not a ton, but it's enough to the point that he can, with the nuance that he has, he's able to create separation, which is good. The negatives, focus drops are the big one for me, and the ankle injury is the other big one for me. I can deal with the lack of separation, the lack of athleticism, because he's a physical guy, and because he does everything else well. I can deal with that. What I can't deal with is uncertainty about the ankle. That really derailed the season, and I thought when that happened that he should probably go back to school. He didn't. He came out, which is good, but I thought he should have gone back to school. Focus drops are another thing. It's a 50-50 thing on the NFL level. Some guys succeed with them. Some guys don't succeed with them. So I hope he's one of those guys that succeeds with them. Otherwise, it could hurt him. But as a whole, I really like Drake London. He is really in the running for my wide receiver one. I think he does a lot of things well, clearly, and I think he should be a top pick in this draft. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. Comment what are your thoughts on Drake London. How do you feel about him? He is more than just a contested catch guy, so don't say that. But yeah, I appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace out.